Shalom, shalom is real. Man, all praises to Yahweh Bashemi Barakatha Yahweh Shah. I am Shaquat Araya, coming straight at you with another banger. Let's just get straight into it. I ain't trying to hold y'all too long, and I got other stuff to do for the Most High. However, uh, it's a lot going on right now. It's a spiritual battle, something nasty, but it's gonna get even worse. I mean, whew. However, it's something that even I've been dealing with, recently and prior, of course. However, is dealing with wisdom and anger, you know, because a lot of times we have anger, we lack wisdom. A lot of times we don't see it. We just in our feelings and we just go from there. Not supposed to. We're supposed to move right. Shalaki in advance, in case I, have to blow my nose every once in a while. I am in Texas, and the air quality has been in the red for months. So, due to my diagnosis of Guillain-Barré, it messes with my my nasal cavities, and my it's just a nerve ending kind of a thing for me. Some people have better reactions or whatever here and there, but my nose just run quite a bit. However, uh, I don't know. I used to sit here and think, like, how do people uh crash out so bad without thinking? Whether they delete themselves or delete somebody else, or um trash a home that somebody opened their doors to. Just a lot of different things, for lack of understanding, right? So let's just go straight to it. Let's go to Proverbs 4 and 7. I'm already here. Let's get it. Wisdom is the principal thing. Principle. What is a principle? Principal is a high ranking not officer, but a high ranking official person over a multitude of people, right? Because it can be in any kind of lane. It could be school, of course, school principal. It could be in entertainment. It's just a high ranking official, a high ranking person, right? So wisdom is a principal thing, which means wisdom is up there. It's up there. It's top, right? Therefore, get wisdom. Get it, right? And with all thy getting, get understanding. There were times when I was little, I used to be embarrassed by asking so many questions because sometimes your mom or somebody who you love be like, "Why you ask so many questions? Stop asking so many questions. God dang!" Or that's a stupid question. Well, to be honest, as I got older and grew, there's a thing that I like to say. There is no such thing as a stupid question, except you asking a question you already know the answer to. To me, that's just stupid, and that's my opinion. I'm pretty sure some others can agree. I know some that do. However, when you're asking a question or you're learning something and you don't understand it, you have the right to dig deeper for you to be able to get more understanding on it, right? You have that ability. You can. Now, if somebody don't give you the answer, that's up to you to go wherever you need to go to get that answer, right? But get understanding when you get that, as you're getting that answer. All right, don't just sit there and be like, I get it, and then leave. Like, okay, oops, Shalakia. Like, you don't go around roaming the world like, okay, that person was teaching me something, but I didn't understand what they were saying though. Like, I heard what they were saying, but I didn't understand it. So what do I do next? You're asking the people around you, but you was the one that the message went to. How do you explain it if you didn't understand it? So wisdom is the principal thing. Being wise means, therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. Bam. You know what I mean? Now, I started there by saying, whatever you're gonna learn, whatever you're going to um, grasp onto, make sure you understand. If there's anything you don't understand, put it in the chat. You can email me. All right. All right. Verse 28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Shalakia. The Most High is not dealing with anybody who does not have wisdom. Hiccups. Wisdom is the principal thing. And the Most High is all about principles, and He is the principle of all creation. Of all creation. So, of course, He wants us to be smart. He wants us to be wise. How are you going to be able to follow His law, statutes, and commandments and not be wise? You know, it is. I want to say it's just common sense, but it's deeper than that because some people lack common sense, but some are wise, right? You if you're sitting in class and you have a whole 24 hours to get a project done and you sitting there thinking, you know what, as soon as I get home I get straight to it, that way as soon as I finish I can have time to do whatever I want before I go to sleep and come to school and present it, right? Or you could be like, you know what, I do want to go outside and play when I get home. So I'll do the project when I'm done playing outside. Knowing on a school night, you definitely got to come in by the street light. That's for sure. But now you come in, you tired because you got to take a bath, you got to eat dinner, and now it's time to go to bed. And you laying there like, oh shoot, I didn't even do my project. But I ain't tell my mom and dad that I had this project, so they don't even know. That's just not wise. That's not wise at all. So the Most High, and then plus that's a lazy spirit too. That's also a lazy spirit. I mean, I've done it. I've put things off before. Thinking I got time. And that's how I learn not to be doing that. When you see the outcome of you being lazy on time or even on the Most High, you know, it comes out just like that. Like, hey, you put in, you put that in, you get what you got out of it. So again, verse 28, for Yahweh loves none but him, loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. I'm all for getting my wisdom. I'm all for getting it and also teaching wisdom. You know, I mean, shoot, I didn't. Even though I'm from Buffalo, New York, there's many times that I've been taught things from some elders on the corner. You know what I mean? Whether they standing on the block or sitting in a chair with a brown paper bag. If you know, you know. So I've been the one to not be standing on a block or have that brown paper bag sitting in the chair. It's just um, the things that I've learned that I've applied to my life. I also teach the youth as well. Well, I mean, there's even some elders that I've been taught some things to that they've never heard before, ever. And they're like, "Oh snap, dang young blood, yeah, dang young man, that's yeah, that works, that works." So it's a beautiful thing when you gain wisdom and you keep it and you use it because the Most High can definitely move through you with wisdom. All right, all right. Let's go to Sirach 1:26. Let's go ahead and get that. Oop, Shalakia. All right. Uh, there we go. Verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. Verse 27. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. Let's do it. If you desire wisdom, because number one, if you desire wisdom, that's not a lazy spirit, because it takes work to gain wisdom. Whether if you're doing it physically or spiritually, it's gonna take some effort to retain what you need to learn to gain the wisdom to follow through your life, right? It's like that. And to keep the commandments, it takes work. You can't have a lazy spirit doing that, right? And the Lord shall give her unto thee, which means the Most High, Yahweh, will give you what you desire or what He desires for you within that wisdom and keeping the commandments. I mean, shoot, give you the world, right? Um, I, I don't agree with people when they feel like, if you don't keep the commandments, it's okay because that was the Old Testament. We don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, it doesn't even say that. I don't I don't subscribe to people's feelings and emotions and what they've regurgitated from another pastor on the pulpit or somebody that they saw on social media, that has a great reputation with the masses. Just because you got a big following don't mean you're right every single time, right? I mean, hey, if a million people want to follow one idiot, then you got a million and one idiots.
No, God, please, no,
Exactly,
no,
right?
no.
So yeah, if you desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom. Now, fearing Yahweh is wisdom, because we're not supposed to fear any man anyway, right? So fear no man but God. All right. So the fear of the Lord is wisdom. Like if you fear your parents, that's wise, because they know so much more than you. Now, yeah, we have some bad parents out there. I got it. But if it's not your parents, it's somebody that you respect or that you love and respect even. They're gonna give you what you need to know. Now, if you fear them, you're gonna make sure that you do everything you can to stay in line with them, so you can continue getting what you need from them, so you can grow stronger in life and in spirit, because you could take whatever you've learned from that person and you come to the Most High's or the Bible, Shalaki, and you apply it. There you go, you winning. So the Most High is very balanced. You know what you get in is what you put out. I mean, Shalaki, wow, what you put in is what you get out. Right? Let's go to James 1:5. Shalakia. Ooh, why did I just do that? Go. James 1:5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth, and it shall be given unto him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven into the wind and tossed. So you got to be stable minded in your prayer, in your asking of the Most High for wisdom. Because if you lack it, you'll know. You'll know. And it's a frustrating thing when you lack wisdom. You can't be unstable in asking, like, say, for instance, I need a new job. Okay, man. All right, let me get into my prayer closet. God, I need to talk to you. I lost my job and I don't know what to do. I need to pay my bills and I'm just losing everything. But I mean, I want another job, but I really don't feel like going to work every day. And I do owe some people some money I've been borrowing, but I mean, I mean, I mean, just not being stable in your prayer, not being stable in asking for anything to the Most High, even wisdom. I mean, look, think about it. Look, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, which means he ain't gonna he he not gonna shortchange you. If you don't shortchange him, come correct. stand up, stand up right. You know, be real with him. Because he definitely be real with you. And upbraid if not, and it shall be given him. You know what I mean? Don't play no games with it, because if you ask in faith and you're not wavering, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And for he that, just right here, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea. There's nothing stable about that. It goes each and every way. It just, right? You can't do nothing with that. And it drives with it moves with the wind. It tosses. It goes each and every way. So how can you ask for a direct blessing or a direct answer and you're not being direct yourself? Just don't make no sense, right?
Bruh.
I ain't gonna lie, this air is tearing me up in Texas. It's bad. Yeah. For those that's in Texas, put in the comment how y'all feel about this bad air quality. One time I had I was on the way into the building to where I work, and it was like it smelled like a fire that was going on and got put out. And it was like a little hazy in the air, and this is nighttime. It was like a little foggy, almost like very light fog in the air. And man, my eyes was itching, my nose was running. I was just feeling horrible. I wanted to go back home, but I was walking into the building. I couldn't. But Shalakia. But I knew that whatever I had to do to feel better, I did. I was drinking plenty of water. Of course, as I'm walking, I'm just talking to the Most High, and how how I kick it with him, how I talk to him. Just be like, yo, I'm feeling pretty bad here. And once I got into talking to the Most High, I started feeling better, throughout the night. Let's go to Romans chapter 5, verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. And patience experience, and experience hope. Okay? So patience is a big key.
Yes!
You're not going to gain wisdom by lack of patience. Because the majority of the time, you have to have patience to even see wisdom, to even gain wisdom, of course. And patience and experience hope. When you have patience and you're experiencing certain things, good or bad, depending on what you're seeking for, depending on what your end goal is, you will have hope. You will have hope that you get there. You will have hope that it will manifest. But having patience and lack of anger will get you there a lot faster. Like for instance, and let's go up a little bit. Let's just start from the top. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh Shah. Oh, Trinity cut. Anywho, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of glory of Yahweh. So, in case you missed it, therefore being justified by faith. Just by having hope, by having faith, you got to have patience. You got to have wisdom. All of that intertwines into faith, right? But we have peace with Yahweh because that brings peace. When you have faith and hope, you're enduring whatever you're going through, but that peace brings that hope, brings that faith, right? And the Most High sees that. And through our Lord Yahweh Shah. Yahweh brings his word to Christ, to Yahweh Shah, and brings it to us so we can deliver the message to who we got to deliver it to in wisdom, in peace, in faith, and patience. And even if it stops with us, if you're asking for it, it will descend down to you. Yahweh makes things happen, you know? And I mean, Yahweh got plenty of patience. He got plenty of patience with me, you, all of us, and when patience run out, it is what it is. A lot of us don't see it the way he see it. So we try to make it form into a ball of how it makes us comfortable. The Most High ain't for that. Because, like he said, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. A lot of us is on
I got you, fam.
government assistance. A lot of us is on child support. A lot of us is on um, life altering. Um, I'm trying to be careful with my words here. A lot of us is just dealing with Esau is putting on to us. I'll just put it like that, in the worst way. And our tribulations has been going on so long. Some of us it just seems normal. Some of us is comfortable with it. Some of us this is all we know. You know, but tribulation can bring patience because if you know, like I know, like many of you know, that Christ is coming back. Yahweh Shah is coming back. No, we do not know exactly what day of the year, time of day or night. We don't know. But we know that he's coming back. And we see the signs of times, rumor of war, labor pains of the earth. We know that these signs is coming. We saw in real time how Esau's power has dropped. And they're doing everything they can to keep it up. And before, it was effortless. If you notice, it was effortless for them to be able to keep their power up. I mean, it was almost like, I ain't gonna say they didn't know, they do know, but it was so effortless, it was almost like they didn't even have to think about the power that they have. It just, whatever they say, whatever they did, But now, since the Most High turned that hourglass around, here we are. They're scared, they're trembling, they're scrambling. They're doing everything they can to show dominance and be like, hey, we still got the power. And we like, man, go ahead with that. You know what I mean? Is y'all time up yet? Come on, man. The jig is up. We done here. We done. You know what I mean? It's our turn. Like kickball. I always like to kick. I never really liked to play the outfield to catch the ball. I never liked to be the one to roll the ball. I always wanted to kick. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Well, we tired of being the outfielders trying to catch the ball. So when we catch the ball, you out. We be like, nah, we not out. Y'all, you didn't catch the ball right. What we created this game, so we make the rules. So however we say fit, it is what it is. We like, yo, I thought we was playing fair around here. Yeah, we are. We are playing fair. That's how we play it. So when it's our turn to kick, we kick a home run. We kick the ball out the doggone field, out the stadium, wherever, out the arena, whatever. They're like, oh no, 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 no. That didn't count. That didn't count. You didn't kick that ball at the right angle to get the trajectory to how it's supposed to be at a certain percentage of an increase of an incline, and all these different rules, moving the goalposts every single time, always moving. Well, man, we done with it. We done with it. We tired of it. The Most High said, look, follow my law, statutes, and commandments, and I got you. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, we definitely got some Jakes and some Eves that don't see what needs to be seen yet. But when they see it, oh, what a glorious day, right? So yeah, here we go. In tribulations, also knowing that tribulation working patience. You be going like, all right, cool. Y'all keep moving the goalposts. It's cool. All right, we up next. Okay. And see, that's another reason why they don't want us to be at bat or to be, in kicking position, because they feel like, yo, once we get our turn, we gonna do to them as they did unto us. Sure, but when the Most High allows us to do it, when He gives us the green light, we're not just gonna say like we get reparations tomorrow and then we just start retaliating. No, no. Their biggest fear would. I'm not trying to go off topic here, but like they fear when we get reparations. You know how they say, oh, "What you gonna do with the money?" I bet you're gonna spend it all. I bet you're gonna buy it on liquor and drinks and things like that. Well, somebody came to my hometown, Buffalo, New York, a few days, well, like last week, talking about New York gets a certain kind of money. New Yorkers are supposed to get a certain kind of money, right? Like a check, or I'm not going into detail with it. But what I do want to highlight is that she said, "Don't go spending that money at the liquor stores."
We are under siege, my friends. This country is under attack. And I think about what you're talking about, Bishop, about crashing out. And sometimes there's people who want us to crash out, to divide us. Right. And I'm pained to say this, but I actually believe there's someone sitting in the White House who wants us to crash out. And don't underestimate a woman from Buffalo who gets really, and I'm not going to say the word, but I'm not going to say it. All right. Forgive me. Who gets really pissed off about what you're doing to my people? Okay. But I don't want to crash and burn over this guy. See, no, I don't want to crash out. So I'm gonna get calm. Take a breath. I'm going to my calm, happy place. But it just makes your blood boil what they're doing to our people. So I'm gonna do what I can as your governor. I'm gonna fight like heck. So I'm putting more money back in people's pockets. The largest middle-class tax cut rate in 70 years. An inflation rebate, because you all paid so much in inflation, we collected more in sales tax. And that's not my money, that's their money. People across the state of New York, checks are coming out soon. Watch the mail. Okay? Don't spend it all one day. Get something you really need. Okay? Don't stop by the liquor store. Okay? Buy something for the kids. Buy them some food. Sometimes I have to stop by the liquor store too. I understand. It's all right. But listen.
I mean, the reaction from that was real, but you could tell there was some, and this was in a church, True Bethel. One of my this is my dad's side of the family church that they've been going to for years, right? She literally said this at the pulpit, and there was some that was like, ha, 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 ha. Really, and there was some in there was like, oh, they felt that. So when it comes a time that we would get our reparations, if like I'm just giving an analogy, just roll with me. If there was to come a time that we got our reparations, the biggest fear is that we would take our money and invest it wisely. Because if we did that, then we would have power in a way over them. So having patience to sit back and be like, all right, go ahead. I mean, shoot, y'all time about up, ain't it? All right, yeah, go ahead, live, go ahead, do what y'all do, and then the Most High is going to intervene, and is going to make sure that His children, the Israelites, that follow His words, get exactly what we need, what we deserve, and what He wants us to have, point blank. So, having patience is a beautiful thing in wisdom, especially, having patience can also keep them from seeing our next move if you just stay quiet about it, right? But, again, I digress, right? Let's go to James 1 and 3. Let's go to James 1 and 3. wanted to say something else, but I'm not. Let's go to James 1 and 3. All right. Let's start at 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith works patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and enter wanting nothing. Verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So, okay. So, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. You're going to fall into a lot of diverse temptations. You need that. You need something to challenge you, to keep you on track. You need something to challenge you so you can stay with the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Like, say if you're hungry, you ain't ate in over 24 hours. You're like, oh, man, I need something to eat. And somebody just come out the bodega and come out with a pork Slim Jim. I was like, man, I got too many. Hey, yo, you want one? And you take it and you look at it, because we do read ingredients, and it says pork or gelatin, whatever, what have you. That's a temptation. It's a diverse one because it's you go through many more other situations, but in this one, you're looking at it like, I love Slim Jims, but he got the pork one. Nah, I ain't messing with it. Throw it away. Count that joy, because you needed that. You needed that moment to show your strength with the Most High. You needed that. I mean, hey, look, knowing that the trying of your faith works patience. Your faith is you know that you're going to get something to eat. You know you're going to get something to eat, but you just don't know when, how, or where. But you're patient. Throwing that Slim Jim away is patience. Yeah, somebody like, yo, what's wrong with you? Man, I'd have ate that.
Oh my
What?
God!
Man, no, I'd have ate that. But let patience have her perfect work. That patience can bring you to, like, man, you walking down the street, and you're like, and you look over to your left, and you see this door. It says grand opening. All meals are free per family. Just for today. Huh. Who'd have thunk it? You go in there and you like, yo, what y'all making? What y'all cooking up in here? Yo, you got lamb chops, you got mashed potatoes, you got no bacon, just mashed potatoes, no pork bacon, just you got mashed potatoes, you got mac and cheese. Oh my goodness, you got cabbage, you got salad. You can eat everything up in there. What doesn't have pork, and it's all you can eat per family. It's just you. Oh, you good. And then, even better, your patience worked. You impressed the Most High so well by throwing that Slim Jim away, because you came in there, you by yourself. Hey, you could be with a family. It doesn't stop there. But since this one person was going through this situation, this tribulation, and he told the owner of the restaurant, man, I haven't eaten anything over 24 hours, and telling his story. This guy came out the bodega and gave me a pork Slim Jim. I'm an Israelite, and the dietary law says I'm not supposed to eat pork. or fish without scales and fins. I'm not supposed to eat these things, so I threw the Slim Jim away, and I came a few stores down. I saw your restaurant. I came in, and here you are. But I don't know what I'm gonna do for tomorrow or the rest of the week. And the owner has compassion for you, and he has empathy for you. He's like, you know what? This is the grand opening. How about this? You can eat here once a day, 7 days a week, or as long as we're open, once a day. And not only that, say if we're open Monday through Friday, right? On Friday, before you leave, I'll let you leave with as much food as you want that you could preserve for over the weekend. Cool. But that's just for you. Because you did something that was so noble for yourself. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not religious. I don't even believe there's a God. I don't. But for what you've done, that had been a lot for you. And you sacrificed for that. And since you did all of that, you can eat here for free, but you just got to do one thing. Just, try to bring people to my restaurant. Just, spread the word as you dwell about the city. Can you do that? Bet. Thank you. The Most High put it on the owner of that restaurant spirit to do that for you. Now, mind you, he told you he didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in any religion. He don't believe in the Bible. He don't believe in none of that. But for him, he says it was on my heart. But for you, you knew it was in his spirit that the Most High put there. So patience have her perfect work. That was a perfect moment for you. That ye may be perfect and enter wanting nothing. You're not wanting food no more. Now you may want finances, but at least you're not hungry trying to find finances, right? So everything works like that. And a lot of times, people be like, man, I mean, I don't know what just happened there, but man, thank God that worked out. Whew, you know. But if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh that give to all men liberally. If you lack wisdom, ask the Most High for wisdom. Ask for help, because you can't do it on your own. If you don't know the answer, how you gonna get it? By yourself, how you gonna get it? The Most High have to download it on you. He have to give it to you. He have to wake you up to it. That's how it works. You ask him and you diligent in your asking, and you not, here we go with the wavering, right? Do not waver in what you're asking for. Do not waver with the commandments. Don't do the commandments one day and don't do them the next day and be like, well, I did it yesterday, so I'm covered, for that. But of course, we make mistakes. We mess up by accident, Hey, shoot, I had a marshmallow like some years ago. I didn't even know that, it had pork in it. I know it just sounds stupid to say something like that, but it wasn't until I started learning the dietary law, and I even teach my children to read the ingredients to things so they can make sure they know that there's no gelatin in the pork, right? Well, I then learned that there's vegan marshmallows that don't have that in it. So, of course, I repented, of course. But, Shalaki, excuse me. But, of course, I repented and I made sure that I didn't do it again. But it also gave me the wisdom to check my food, to check the ingredients to what's in it. I mean, heck, did y'all know that water bottles have leaven in it? Did y'all know that?
What?
Why are they putting leaven in water bottles? Because when it comes to the Feast of Unleavened Bread, secretly you have something in your refrigerator or in your pantry that has leaven in it that you didn't think. And you drinking it, eating your lamb, you know what I mean? Eating your bitter herb and eating your unleavened bread. You're like, oh, I got this. But that water got leaven in it. All right? This does not have leaven in it. That's why you see us drinking this a lot, because it's kosher. Shalaki. Let me try to get. There we go. This doesn't have leaven in it. And if you notice, when you drink your water bottles, or when you drink water or whatever, I want y'all to experiment with this, right? Get a Deer Park or get a or Zarka or whatever. I'm not sure how to say that, but get that and compare it to this, right? Drink a full bottle of another water bottle, right? Pay attention to how your stomach, how your gut feel. Pay attention to that. Like, don't eat anything. Just drink the water. Just pay attention to that. How it's gonna feel. The next day, drink this and see how your stomach feel. I guarantee you're not gonna feel bloated because leaven is, it makes yeast rise. It makes things rise. So they put it in water. That's evil. That's wicked. So, I say that to say this. If you pay attention to what the Most High is telling you, you're going to be very cautious on your walk so you can stay close to what the Most High is telling you. And your walk goes with everything, even to a bottle of water. All right. So, yeah. The Most High don't play when it comes to us and the things that we ask. He just say, hey, be diligent in what you ask for and don't waver. Don't waver. See? But let him ask in faith, verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, verse 8. So, be stable in what you're asking for. Be stable in what you're wanting. Now, to tie this together, anger and patience. Anger has a spirit. Patience has a spirit. When you are angry at a person or a situation, it's up to you to activate the patience to decrease the anger enough to where you could sit in wisdom and be like, what's my next move that's not going to get me jammed up? That don't mean you drop the anger. The anger drives a certain kind of force. It's like a pum, right? It's a tool. It can delete or it could enhance. It could be a choice of my words here. It could it could be a defense mechanism. It could be a deterrent. It doesn't have to be a one thing only machine. Because you're angry with a weapon doesn't mean that you have to use it in the wrong way. This is a weapon. Your mind is a weapon. And it's also a tool. You can use it the wrong way or you can use it the right way. But if you're going back and forth, if you're being emotionally unstable, there's no patience there. There's no faith there. The lack of faith actually cuts off your relationship with the Most High and Yahweh Shah. Your lack of patience can cut off your relationship with the Most High and Yahweh Shah. I mean, it's levels to it. But be stable in what you want. Be stable in what you're going through. Yeah, I mean, things move fast. Time moves fast. A lot can happen in a second. But you must stay clear in your mind while you're angry. That's why you got these videos of people crashing out. A lot of these people that's crashing out don't have any patience, don't have any faith. Because if you lose faith, that means you lose it all. You feel like, what's the point to even trying? What's the point to even doing all this hard work I've been doing? I haven't seen no results yet. F it. I'm done.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. I'm gonna do it how I always been known to do it. Nah. Mm-mm. Nah. You gotta stay diligent. You can't be wavering. You can't be like the waves of the sea. You can't be unstable. A double-minded man. Like, how can you make a choice on a double-minded situation? You can't make a choice. You gotta make a choice. And also, sometimes being double-minded breeds lying, breeds a liar. You know. So yeah, you know, just be stable. You know. Uh, Luke 21 verse 19. Shalaki. And your patience possess ye your souls. Ooh, heavy hitter. And your patience, it's a spiritual thing. It possesses your soul. If it possesses your soul, it possesses your mind. It possesses your body. It starts with your soul. Anger starts with your soul. Peace starts with your soul. We see the physical outcome because we're physical beings, we're physical creatures, we're carnal, but we don't see the manifestation before the physical presence. You know, you can sit there dwelling on your thoughts. You can sit there, you know, you know what? I want this truck. I want to get this truck. But I know if I wait another 3 more months, I could have the money for the truck, insurance, gas, and still be able to pay my bills. On the other hand, I want this truck, but if I get it now, I had a truck, but I'm pretty sure I know that I can get the money next week to pay the insurance for next month or next month, 6 months, however you do it. I had the money to get the insurance and make sure I got gas for the week. Okay, cool. Yeah. Let me get this truck. I'm gonna get this truck. I'm getting it. I'm getting it today. You drive off the lot. You start feeling some kind of weird feeling, like, man, I'm glad I got this truck. But then all of a sudden, boom, get this phone call. Yeah, we're laying off. We're laying off people, and you're on the list. You know, effective today. Yeah, you know, like not having patience could easily get you thrown off from your financial schedule, your family schedule. Like, oh, let me get this truck. But then you forgot you had to go pick your children up from school. You're so eager to get that truck. No patience. It's just a lot of things that go with it. Shalakia. But, you know, you you then realize how effective patience really is when you realize you done ran out of time and you can't reverse time back to get it right. Right? So, and your patience possesses your souls. Just keep that in mind. For those that understand how your spirit works. The Most High don't be playing. So, um, it's a lot. It's a lot of trying situations out there, from Mississippi to all over the world. It's not just Mississippi. That's just what's being covered. You know, they lynching us. You know, Jacob's Trouble is like it's not even around the corner anymore. It's literally next door. You know what I mean? You ever see how the Mormons how they come, door to door? You know, that's how the seals is working, how the horns is working, how Yahweh is working. He was around the corner. You looked, it was like 8 doors down. You look again, he's 5 doors down. Look again, he's next door. Dang. And if y'all notice, time is moving a lot faster. The days is moving by a lot faster. So time is definitely running out. It's already up, but here we are. So I hope y'all been edified. Shalakia for my sinus situation, kind of getting up, but Hey, I'm real diligent into bringing this word out. It was something that's been on my mind, and I wanted to share it with y'all in the best way that I could in the moment. Yeah, this air quality is bad, so bad. But my patience and faith with that is, if the air quality don't get better, my health will. You know, and again, since you know what, I'm just gonna do it right now because this really goes with my patience. I do have Guillain-Barré, so let me show y'all something right quick. Oops. Here we go. Let me show y'all what I'm telling y'all. It's a rare condition, but it's something that I'm gonna just give a quick testimony of my patience, and this is a real tribulation for me that I'm joyful for and I'm enduring as well. So it's a rare autoimmune disorder that affects the some of these words I ain't gonna lie I can't even pronounce whatever, right? Peripheral nervous system, the nerves outside the brain and spinal cord. So let me give y'all a quick, if I can. Let's go to some symptoms right quick. Okay, so this is a good nerve. This is a Guillain-Barré nerve. This is how my nerves look all throughout my body. You can see the the protect. Let me see. Can I? Okay, here we go. Move my joint out the way. All right. So this is a typical nerve. This is everybody's normal day. This is mine. Nerve affected by Guillain-Barré. Exposed fiber. Damaged myelin. So for those who are into audio, music, or whatever, who deals with electricity, you know what happens when you have an exposed wire. When the coating is gone, it the 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 electrical frequencies can't flow through correctly. It can't it can't pass to the next station, if you will, correctly. It's going to be frayed. It's going to be off a little. It's not going to be a direct shot like the typical nerve. So like I get hot flashes, I get cold flashes, but my hot flash is not like your normal hot flash that most men can't understand. Like for instance, when a woman has a hot flash, only she can feel it. If I have a hot flash, everybody feels it. The person next to me will feel the heat radiating off of me so bad that they gonna need to take their jacket off. I have witnesses. Let me see if I can dig a little deeper for those that need a little more of a visual, if you will. Let me see. Can I back out of this? Oh no, here we go. Let me see. Let me see. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a condition in which the body immune system attacks the nerves. It can cause weakness, numbness, or paralysis. So I was paralyzed from the waist down when I was first diagnosed with Guillain-Barré. Uh, and through my patience and faith, I got my feeling back in my waist down. So to make it real quick, it's a little deep for me. So when it first happened, I was in pain. I didn't know what was going on. So you know how like when you get a pack of chicken or a pack of beef and it's in that tray, and the bottom of the meat is like real flat, like like because it was sitting on a tray. Well, in the morning when I woke up, that's how my body felt on whatever side I was laying on. It felt like it was just flat like that, and it was painful. I went to work, and I was I was getting fatigued, and I'm just walking around. I'm not running. I'm not using a lot of energy. I'm just walking, and I'm losing breath. I'm running out of energy. And then another day go by. Now I'm tripping up as I'm walking, and there's nothing there. I feel like I'm picking my feet up high enough, but I trip up again. My legs is getting weak. Another day goes by. And now every day I'm waking up, I'm still in pain. I was in so much pain that my bed was comfortable. I had to sleep on the floor, and I felt like it felt better until that got bad. So another day goes by. Um, I realized that my speech was messed up. I couldn't move my lips that much anymore. And you need your lips to eat. Try to eat without moving your lips. You know, like really, like it's try to eat a burger without moving your lips. It's not easy. Try to drink without moving your lips. You can't. Um, I had to learn how to drink through a straw without using my lips. Try it. Have fun. Another day goes by. I can't blink.
Say what?
I don't have the my nerves is in my eyes. My eyelids is not working. I can't blink. Then my thinking pattern starts to get frayed, like starts to go all over the place. My memory motors and skills started to diminish. My short-term memory was crashing. My long-term memory was shortening. The more frustrated I got, the more memory I lost. Um, so let's keep going. Weakness and tingling in the hands and feet are usually the first symptoms. See, but yeah, I wasn't really getting any tinglingness until later on. It was just the weakness to where I learned that I wasn't picking my feet up high enough. But when I would try to, I didn't. It was like a ceiling. I couldn't move. I couldn't pick my feet up high enough to keep from doing that. Let me see. These sensations can quickly spread and may lead to paralysis. In its most serious form, Guillain-Barré syndrome is a medical emergency. Yes, it is. Because when it gets to your lungs, you pretty much gonna be on life support. So even though my Guillain-Barré syndrome, they qualified it as being light, like light moderate. It wasn't heavy or severe. But I tell you what, I choked on my saliva and I thought I was drowning because I didn't have the muscle strength to push the saliva back up. So when it gets to your lungs, you pretty much on a breathing machine. It has to breathe for you,
Bruh.
So it was approaching that, but it didn't get all the way there. Even though it affects your whole body, but on that part, the Most High had His hand on me. I was being patient with my fear because I didn't want to die. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want to die. I was being patient with the outcome in the long run. Because one thing I didn't know until, mind you, I was in the hospital. Oh yeah, let me tell you this. So when I was admitted, because I had like 4 spinal taps to get the fluid out of my spine so they could see what was going on. I had 4 spinal taps. Because the first 3 times they couldn't get the fluid. Then the 4th time they actually got it. They saw the bacteria in my spine, but till this day we don't know where it came from. I do have an idea, but I'm not gonna put it on record on this. However, when I got admitted into the hospital, that very next morning when I woke up, my neurologist called my room and said, "Yeah, we're gonna have to give you a catheter." Now I've seen catheters in movies, and I've never seen one in person, having been done. But I know where it usually goes for men. Well, that wasn't the catheter area he was talking about placing it. I said, okay, well, sure, But I said it so confidently. He like, are you sure you know what's going on here? I said, yeah. He was like, do you know what's going in your jugular? Whoa. No, I did not know that. And because of Guillain-Barré, they don't recommend that you get put to sleep during surgery because your body is not strong enough to wake up under such uh, medicines to get you to go to sleep, if you will. So he said, we're going to have to do this in your room while you're awake. I'm going to stop there because I did have the catheter down my jugular to my heart while I was awake. Not a pretty thing. It did not feel good. I was on morphine the whole time, and morphine just took the edge off, and I was still in pain. And morphine gives you migraines, as Guillain-Barré gives you migraines as well. So that was a twofer. All right. Let me see. In its most serious form, Guillain-Barré syndrome is a medical emergency. Most people with the condition need treatment in a hospital. Yes, because I was going through plasmapheresis. What's that? Well, we have plasma in our blood cells. So what they did was they put me in a room where people was having chemotherapy treatment. Well, with me, um, they used this I don't know what it's called, these terms, but they used this tube and connected it to my jugular cord and things like that, and you could see the blood leaving out of my body, and then you see blood coming back in. Oh no, you see the plasma leaving out of my body, and if you look at the machine, you can see the plasma filling up. So you see the blood, Shalaki, I'm everywhere. You can see the blood leaving out your body, but if you look at the machine, you see two bags. You see a bag of blood and an empty bag for plasma. So you see it filling up, and then you see the plasma filling up, but then you see the new plasma coming in. Now, mind you, they're draining all of the blood out of you, but they're keeping blood coming in with the new plasma. So when it's kind of weird, but when a person passes away, you know how the blood stops and they get cold? Well, you could feel that happening inside of your body. Like your body is losing blood and you're getting cold, like as if you're gone. And it doesn't feel good. And because my body went into shock, I did vomit, but they give you something for that. But it's like it does so much for you, and your damaged nerves don't know how to process it. Don't know it's all new, and I went through that for 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks I ended up relapsing. Which when I got home after the first 2 weeks, it was around like Christmas time. So this was before the truth. I'm just gonna say this out right now. This is before I even knew the truth existed. Um, we we didn't really celebrate Christmas so much. It was just that we had relatives in Atlanta, so we took that trip there, and we stopped off in Mississippi, and on the way back. So that night that we was the night before we were supposed to be coming back to Texas, I felt my body getting weak again, and we went to the movies that night. And you know how you have the stairs that's like long, but it's like that much of a step up. It's not much, I couldn't even walk up that, and I had to play it off because I didn't want nobody to know we're in Mississippi and I'm bottoming out. So I was holding on to the railing like with both hands, trying to pull myself, and my arms is too weak. So I ain't gonna front. I just took one step and I fell. Like I kind of like played it off, but I kind of fell into the first seat I could get into because I realized I couldn't really move anymore. So during the whole movie, I'm thinking, man, how am I gonna be able to get up and walk back to the car? Blah blah blah. The Most High made it happen. This is where faith and patience come in. I had faith that I was going to be able to get up out my seat and move the way I need to. Now, mind you, when I was in a hospital, I was considered a fall hazard because I didn't have reflexes. I kind of still don't in a way. I kind of still don't have. I don't have 100% reflexes. Sucks. So I was like, man, I was like, yeah. Well, I could say yeah now. At the time, I was saying, God, please don't let me be stuck here. I don't want to have to leave here in the ambulance. And sure enough, he gave me enough strength to get into the car and get to where we were. before we got back to Texas. Now, mind you, that next day I already had an appointment to see my physician about my my nerves, to see where I was with it. Well, that next morning, I was in bad shape. So we went all the way to Texas, and I had a hard time getting out the car, and I didn't close the door all the way. Didn't know it till the next day. And I took a shower, and when I got into bed, I felt something weird with my legs, but I didn't know it was gonna get that bad. So when I woke up the next morning, I thought, and I just had my son. My son was like 1, and uh, he slept in the bed with us. But I thought that he moved, like, because he didn't like to sleep with covers on. So I thought that he had got in between, like, my kneecaps on top of the cover, like because I when I woke up and I didn't look at my legs, but I couldn't move my legs. So you know how if your legs is under the cover and you have something on top of the cover in between your legs and between your knees, you can't really move your legs because there's something weighing the cover down. So I'm like, I can't move my leg, and I look over and I see my son. So who the heck? I look, nothing's there.
No! God!
That's when I
Please,
discovered I
no!
was paralyzed. Couldn't move my
No!
legs. So
No!
called my physician. They say, you know what? Just don't even worry about coming here. Just go straight to the emergency room. I was admitted for another 2 more weeks.
Oh my God!
So instead of getting plasmapheresis again, they gave me uh uh blood thinner and steroids, and that helped me out for a little bit, and everything else happened. So let's move on because there's a little more here. Guillain-Barré syndrome is rare. Yes, it is, and also it's so rare that they're still doing studies on me today. Every time I have a visit to my neurologist, some things are newly recorded for them from me, and especially at my age, I'm 40 years old. Um, it's very rare for uh, young people to get Guillain-Barré, right? And if I can give you a better depiction, elders who have a hard time moving, moving all slow, they're not sick, they're just elderly. That's Guillain-Barré. That's natural for elders to get that in that regard. So for somebody that's young, now I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré 2016, 2015, 16, somewhere around there. No, I think it was 2015. 16, Shalaki. I think it was 2016. And that's very young. And it's 2025 now. So y'all do the math, right? So, they like, man, this is very rare. So they're still doing studies on me today. Guillain-Barré syndrome is rare and the exact cause is not known. Now, we do know that the sneeze shots can give it to you. I cannot take a sneeze shot because it will re-trigger my Guillain-Barré, or if not, make it worse. Well, it will trigger it, but if it don't keep it to where I am now, it's gonna make it worse. So I am not to take a sneeze shot, nor a id shot. I can't. I can't. It can kill me. But 2/3 of people have symptoms of an infection in the 6 weeks before Guillain-Barré symptoms begin. And what I told y'all? Infections can include a respiratory or gastrointestinal infection included. Guillain-Barré also can be caused by the virus. There's no known cure for Guillain-Barré syndrome. Several treatment options can ease symptoms and help speed recovery. Most people recover completely from Guillain-Barré syndrome, but some serious illnesses can be fatal. Yeah. While recovery may take up to several years, most people are able to walk again 6 months after symptoms first begin. Some people may have lasting effects such as weakness, numbness, or fatigue. That's me. It's crazy. Let's get to some symptoms. because I really feel like a lot of people need to know this. I mean, of course, about me, but need to know about this because imagine you wake up to something like this, and it's a life affecting, a life altering situation. I mean, my driver's license was put on pause. I was not able to drive, obviously. I was going through physical therapy the whole entire time for 10 months. Um, very difficult, very difficult. I couldn't pick up a paperclip. I couldn't pick up a pen. All right, let's get to these symptoms. Guillain-Barré syndrome often begins with tingling and weaknesses starting in the feet and legs and spreading to the upper body and arms. Didn't make that up. Some people notice the first symptoms in the arms or face. See my face right here? I can't, this side of my face is affected still. Now, my entire face was affected, but this is the side that didn't recover like the way this side did. See, I can do all this with this side. I can't really do that with this side. All right. As Guillain-Barré syndrome progresses, muscle weakness can turn into paralysis. Paralyzed, of course. Symptoms of Guillain-Barré syndrome may include a pins and needles feeling in the fingers, toes, ankles, or wrists. Yes, yes, yes. That is an uncomfortable feeling. You know how, like, best way I could say it, when you're sitting on the toilet for too long and your feet go to sleep? Yeah, imagine that happening all over your body, not at the same time, but in different areas at different times, and you get that feeling. And it's not like a bad blood circulation. It's your nerves. Weakness in the legs that spreads to the upper body, unsteady walk or not being able to walk or climb stairs. Trouble with facial movements, including speaking, chewing, or swallowing. Yes, double vision or inability to move the eyes. Mine was the eyelids. Severe pain that may feel achy, shooting or cramp like, and maybe worse at night. Yeah, that shooting or cramp like is lightly put, highly lightly put. I'm talking about I was on morphine for 2 weeks straight, and it just took a slight edge off. Uh, um, Trouble with bladder control or bowel function. Yes, I'm just gonna be transparent and candid, man. I never used the bathroom on myself, but it can make you constipated to where your nerves forget to retract so that everything can flow through. It'll just stay locked up. No prune juice, nothing is gonna help it. It just stays locked up. But then as soon as it releases, everything falls out. It's like it's weird, whether you peeing or not. Well, peeing, so like urinating. I didn't really have an issue with that. It was the bowel movement that really just gave me the understanding of what this is saying. Rapid heart rate, yes. Lower high blood pressure, yes. Trouble breathing, yes. People with Guillain-Barré syndrome usually experience their most significant weakness within the 2 weeks after symptoms begin. Yes. It's a lot, here, but I do want to search something real quick. Hold on, let me see something. Um, how does Gillian how in the rate affect your memory and brain function? Watch this. All right. Guillain-Barré syndrome. Let me just get the spelling right so it goes the way it's supposed to go. All right. Guillain-Barré syndrome (GBS) primarily affects the peripheral nervous system, not the brain itself, but can lead to altered mental status like hallucinations, delusions, and confusion. I've had a lot of confusion just randomly. Shalakia, blow my nose again. All right. So like I had to blow my nose. Um. Okay. But can lead to altered mental status like hallucinations, delusions, and confusion. Yes, due to factors such as autonomic nervous system dysfunction, severe disease progression, and and imbalances in cerebral uh, cerebral spinal fluid, while not typically causing direct memory loss or severe brain damage. The profound physical and systemic effects of GBS can indirectly impact cognitive functions like memory and attention, often treated with therapies aided in improving co- cognitive skills. Shalaki, I'm terrible with this sometimes. So yes, my memory. No matter how much I study, no matter how much I learn new things, um, just like that, I could forget it. Doesn't mean that I don't want to learn it, don't want to know it. It's just that's what the nerves tell the brain to do. It's not I'm not wired right. No pun intended. Like in better words, like my nerves isn't wired right anymore. So when I'm look, I ain't even gonna hold you. When I'm studying and I'm learning, a lot of times I cannot remember where it is. I cannot remember the scripture. I cannot remember. No, I can't remember where the scripture is, but I know it's in there. I can remember what it is. I just can't remember where it's at. And that's one of my biggest struggles when it comes to the most high. That's one that right there. To a point, to a degree, to a slight degree, because I have a family and I love my family. I do whatever for my family. But to the slightest degree, I don't care about nothing else that's affected other than learning the word, learning the Bible. Because that helps me get through my day to day. That helps me become a better father. It helps me become a better man. It helps me become a better um, spouse in my relationship. It helps me become who I need to be to guide my family to where we all need to go. And it's so frustrating that sometimes this sounds crazy, but when I'm talking to somebody in public, when I'm talking about when somebody asks me, "Hey man, fringes," to be honest, sometimes I can't remember where it is. I gotta pull it up on my phone. I mean, I do it anyway to show them so they can see it themselves. But a lot of times I can't remember where it's at. I know Deuteronomy 22. I know now. It's or numbers. I don't. I if I'm under certain kind of pressure, I can go blank. I can, and that is my illness. But my patience and my faith, the Most High adores. The Most High recognizes. The Most High knows what I'm going through. He knows that I'm battling this, and He knows that I'm not letting it get the best of me. I mean, I've been going through this for years, and I'm still having new issues. Shalaki, I'm still having new issues with this. Brand new issues from out of nowhere. Going places not knowing what's gonna happen, or I only brought one pair. I'm only wearing what I'm wearing, and if the weather change or where I'm at changes, I have to deal with it. Everybody else feel normal, but I'm the only one that don't. And when I get hot like that, I don't sweat. I don't. I don't. Let me see something here. Let me get some images. Let me get some images for y'all. Some more images rather. Try to get some good details here. See what this one looking like. All right, some of these images are just messed up, but yeah, I hope I gave y'all enough insight to let y'all know that we all have our own problems. We all go through our own battles. We all face our own tribulations, whether if it's work, whether if it's family, whether if it's physical, whether if it's any of this. Yeah, I can't find no real good images to. Uh, okay, for the record, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm not any of this. This is just experience and information online. I have my own information. I have doctors. I have uh, great help in that regard. I'm very well taken care of. All praise to the Most High for giving them the wisdom and knowledge to take care of me the way they need to. But yeah, I am no way uh, a professional with this. So anyway, I'm just gonna say this. Um, all praises to the Most High that I do have everything I need to get through the days, to sustain, to be able to raise my my children, to be able to work, to be able to bring forth the truth to y'all. And I do get angry. I do. I get angry. Um, and it doesn't mean that somebody else caused my anger. Sometimes it's just sometimes I get angry at my situation because it sucks when you feel like nobody knows what you're going through experience. Uh, people can't understand why you can't do certain things while you're so young. And mind you, let me see. Just 2 months after I was released to be able to go back to work from Gillian Beret, I got shot. That didn't help because that when that bullet hit me, it went through and through. But when that bullet hit me, I felt it all over my body. Like my nerves just went like this. So yeah, due to the area that got affected from the bullet, I still had to go through physical therapy, not just for my leg, but for the rest of my body all over again. I wasn't paralyzed from the waist down from getting beret. Sure, I wasn't. But my nerves didn't know what to do with that kind of trauma to my body. So I guess in a normal person's nerve ending like this one, for a person's normal nerve, it would know what to do in an instant. But because mine was like is like this, it didn't really know what to do. So in different situations, I get angry. I get angry that I'm talking to somebody and I don't want to pull my phone out because I want to show my skills that I've learned over these past few years of um knowing the Bible. And when I'm talking to somebody, because I don't wear a nameplate or a badge or a jacket, like you would put on a dog or a cat to say, hey, this is my emotional support animal. This is my I don't wear that. So I'm not gonna tell everybody, hey, I have Gillian Beret. So no, I just give them the word and keep it moving. But if I gotta pull my phone out to give it to them, as long as they get it. Now there's no excuse to say, hey, I shouldn't study. No, I'm just saying while I'm studying, this is what I have to deal with. And until the Most High reverses this, I'm stuck with it. Until Yahweh Shah come back and Most High willing, I'm able to make it to the kingdom or even be the elect to rock and also get a new found body. I'm stuck with this, but I'm enduring until the end. I'm enduring to the end. No, let's get that. Let's get that. Let's get the endurance to the end real quick. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. This ain't easy. This ain't easy. It's not easy at all. I knew it was there and I knew I can get there and bring it out. That's where the faith comes in at. That's where the patience come in at. Because I'm kind of used to it at first, I was not used to it. I was kind of crashing out a little bit. Mentally, I was crashing out. I wasn't going around trash and stuff. No, but I was being short with people. I was being loud sometimes, um, combative, defensive, deflective. I was being all of that because I didn't want people to know that it's my mind. So when I had and I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna end it, right here. When I had my neurology appointment, I said, why am I having a hard time remembering like certain things? And I was told it's because when you're under certain pressure, when you're under certain amount of stress to make, to push a deep thought at a rapid pace, you don't always have the the neurological abilities to be able to have it to connect so fast to be able to push it out. So either it's going to come slow or it's just not going to come at all. And that's what I'm dealing with. So anger and wisdom. My anger is controlled by faith and wisdom. Wisdom shortens my anger enough to where my anger drives me closer to faith, patience, and wisdom. If that makes any sense. I pray it does. So I hope that you've been edified. I hope that this brings you to a place to where you don't look at people if you don't know their situation. A lot of times we don't know another person's situation. But don't be so quick to judge that a person doesn't know anything because they can't produce something so fast. It is a handicap, but I don't like to lean on it. I don't like to claim it, but I do recognize it. If nobody else does, I don't care. It's between me and the Most High, and my household understands it as well. And they help me. They do. They help me. My daughter helps me. My son helps me. My rib helps me, and they're patient with me. Like just the other day, I was at my brother. I was at my people crib, right? And he has some strong drink. I've never seen it before. And my rib brought me, a little bit, taste it. Oh, tastes good. Cool. And I was like, yo, what's the name of that? She told me. She said, it's out there, check it out, whatnot. I went out there. As soon as I got to the place where all the strong drink was, I forgot the name of it. I went back. Hey, babe, so what was the name of that again? Told me again. By the time I got over there, I forgot again. Went back. Went back. Hey, what was it again? And she said, "You need me to help you? You need me to help you find it?" I was like, "Yeah." Because of patience and wisdom, I didn't get prideful. I didn't get angry and I didn't get short. I said, "Yes, I need help." So she went and she grabbed it and she showed it to me and I took a picture of it. Sometimes my memory has to rely on photos, screenshots, alarms. I have a lot of alarms. So for all of those out there that's watching, that feel like you're alone, that you don't know how to handle your anger and patience and bring them all into one so you can move right. Take it from this. Take it from me. I'll be the example. It hurts. It does. But, I use it to the challenge of me counting it all joy. Because now I have to push harder and go harder. You know? So, yeah. Much love to my red. all praises to you. You know, all praises to the Most High to giving you the mental fortitude and wisdom to be able to have patience with me and not be short and be like, dang, I done told you like 3 or 4 times, man. God dang. Nah. And she like, you need me to show you? And she loves to help. That's another thing. She loves to help. My children loves to help. You know? Um, it's almost like a seeing impaired person don't move their furniture around because they know where everything is, where everything was put. Something like that. You know, I have to keep things a certain way so I can remember where it is or, you know, what have you. All right. So with that being said, like I said, I hope you've been edified. All praise to the Most High. Until next time, Kwame Yasharala.